All right. Mikey's on his way home, and it's raining and poopy, dangerous, dark. So I'll tell you a little story from my hometown as I'm riding here. And as I tell it, I'm gonna use my accent from Boston, the one I grew up with. So you get a little taste of what I used to sound like when I was younger, before I got cool. Ha. So I used to work at Sears in Peabody. I was in the stock room, and I didn't have a car back then. I think, well, I might have had a car, but it was broken down, so I had to have my stepfather pick me up. And my mother and my stepfather, they were at home, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe they was going out to eat or something, but my mother was with them. And I called them up from Sears on the Sears phone, and they were at home, and I said, I need a ride. So Bob says, yeah, all right, I'll come and get you. It's only 6 miles away, but it's like 40 minutes. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And the store closes, and I'm waiting outside. And he's not coming, because Bob was wicked slow anyway. It would take him forever to get ready. So I started walking home from Peabody, which, if you live up that way and you know the distance between Peabody and Lynn, you think, holy Jesus, this teenager's walking home at 10 o'clock at night? Yep, I was. So, as I'm walking, all of a sudden this cop car comes up to me, and the cop says, what are you doing? I says, I'm walking home. He said, where do you live? I said, I live in Lynn. He said, Lynn? You're walking home to Lynn from here? I said, yeah. My stepfather was supposed to pick me up, and he didn't show, so I'm walking. She says, well, did you throw a rock off of the overpass and hit a car going underneath on the highway on 128? I said, no. What are you talking about? I was in work. I would never even think to do that. So he gets on the radio and he says, what's the description the lady's given of the perpetrator? So she says, he's about 5'11". He's got on a camouflage jacket. Well, that's exactly what I had on. So now the cop looks at me like, uh-huh. So he's getting a car. So I get in the back, and he takes me to the scene, and this lady's crying. You can see her windshield's all smashed up. And she says, tell me the truth. Did you throw a rock on my car? And I said, lady, I was at Sears. I was working. I have nothing to do with this. It's looking pretty bad for old Mikey. All of a sudden, I see my stepfather's car in the parking lot way across at the mall. And I said to the cop, look, that's my stepfather. I told you. He's coming to pick me up. It was a Datsun 210. A 1979 Datsun 210. I think it was a 79 or 80. So, I get back in the car. We drive over. I'm in the back of the car, and the cop pulls up to them, and he's on the passenger side of my stepfather's car, and he says to my mother, who rolls her window down, do you know this young man? And she looks at him in the back of the car going, Ma, it's me. Tell him you know me. She looks at the police officer. She doesn't even bat an eye. She says, I've never seen this young man in my entire life. I'm like, what are you doing? And she laughed, and she said, I'm just kidding. That's my son. We're picking him up from work. She gave me the scare of my life. I thought, that's it. I'm going to jail. Oh. My mother. Great sense of humor, that one. Alright, this is Maikeli7 with his little boss's story. I hope you liked it. And I'll talk to you later.